What's up? Alright, so this video is going to be a quick video just to train you on the gear sets that we've just set up. After you upgrade them, of course, if I were you, I would prioritize the main weapon first, upgrading that first, and then upgrading the sub weapon and maybe a necklace if you need to. Okay. I know you had recently upgraded or chose a different necklace, the Eternal Regalia, so you wanted to upgrade that, and you're going to use your Immortal ring and belt set pretty much all the way through endgame. So keeping that up into tier with the rest of your main weapons or your main gear sets is going to be great. Same with the necklace. Although you might switch that to a Terra Pendant, a Rage Gain necklace if you get one eventually. Anyway, so I'm just going to show you on an account that I haven't worked on yet today, just some things, okay? And you said Flame Mummy, so we will take care of that today. And I think it's going to be easier after you just do this upgrade, especially if you're just going to upgrade, one set first and then work on the next set. Okay. Hopefully, playing on your PC will be easier too. Hopefully the BlueStacks problem is worked out. So just to keep this going, I just kind of refresh those events. I don't know where you're at on the event achievements, but I've got, just a little bit left until I get the legendary box and the enchant stone. And same for the hearse coins, I'll get that chest down there. So that's going to work out perfect for me. Alright, so this is how I'm set up. This is my main set, which I just recently did because I just got this Death Scythe to enchant 3. This is the main pet that I'm trying to work on because he's got crit rate and crit damage, which is awesome. My legendary pet's right there. And then after I've decided that, so for example, if you go into Arena and then you go to Companion War, in Companion War, see, it lets you put 3 pets there at the bottom, right? Well, I only have 2 legendary pets, and then I have nothing. So that third pet, the white looking thing, he's not good. So I need to, if I'm going to use a third pet, it's going to be the one with crit rate and crit damage. So that's what I'm trying to do, trying to level him up. But my best team power is 11,411, I think. Yeah, that's not even enchant 3 on the main weapon there, so 10-9, 11-2, and this is the new one. But even the legendary there, it's Frost. It's not at enchant 3 yet though. That's Lady Terra on the left and Lady Grey, of course. And when you use them together, you actually get a set effect, a companion set effect, so that's good. They accent each other. Same for this Dragon Fang and this belt. That's why I have it different instead of the Immortal Eye belt. Anyway, so this is what I'm working on. Change my pet. Okay. Alright, and we wanted to show you several things. So I want to show you how to use a Death Scythe. With your Death Scythe, let's see. Friends list. There you are. Okay. Let's double check your equipment. Main weapon. Okay, so you have enchant 6 double crescent, which is good. You're almost enchant 3 on that lightning nightfall. Perfect. We need to get that up there once you can. You have a legendary Death Scythe. Awesome. That's going to be your long-term goal at this point, to get that to enchant 3. but within reason. This, the Fire Death Scythe, you're going to want to get that to enchant 3 immediately as you can, because that's going to be a really good weapon for slaying. Also, this Flame Duelist could be a really good weapon for slaying, because slaying has a weaken in air, fire, and down. But I think the Death Scythe will deal more damage. It'll give you more CC if you use Slaying, your Death Scythe, and Nikki, for example, in PvP, Arena, Guild War, whatever. So that'll be good. And now we're going to work on the Skylark, okay? And that's enchanted once. And so, if it were me, you can't craft Skylark or the Death Scythe or the Duelist, these rare weapons in Bianca. So for me, we're putting the priority on Skylark, because your Skylark set with Lady Grey and Arcane will overpower, team power, your bleed eventually, and probably quickly. So if it were me, if I had rare stones, I would enchant the Skylark to at least 3. And if I had any other enchant stones, I would use them next on the Death Scythe. Okay, and I would save any others that I had after that. Okay, so we're going to show you how to use the Death Scythe and how to use the Skylark. Alright, so using your Death Scythe right now, if you go into your team settings on your Death Scythe, you will have, these 3 first skills, but then X slash right there you won't have. You don't get X slash until you enchant it 3 times. Okay, so as I'm killing things, you'll see me do the X slash, but one second. So you will see me do the X slash, but that doesn't mean that the Death Scythe isn't effective without it. It's still pretty good without it, because and I don't know if you've noticed this, you probably have, but every weapon you use, it's kind of got a sequence. There's one of these main attacks that you use first, and it builds. Then you use a second attack, and that builds even more. And then you use a third attack, and that's usually your finisher. Well, Death Scythe is all about down. So if you read these skills here, this one has a break, a shock, and a down all within one. And basically you tap it once, and it does the break. And then you tap it a second time, and it does, more shock. And then you tap it a third time, and then it adds a down. So it's an interesting skill that's not like many weapons. And then the second one is strictly a down, and it's kind of a dodge. And this third one, headhunting, is your finisher until you get X slash, which will be your second finisher. Okay, so obviously I have my Death Scythe, and then I'm stacking electricity like you will be. We'll just, instead of doing that, we will go with our Skylark and just show you that, and then I'll show you the Death Scythe later. So my Skylark is enchant 4, and it's tier 6 plus 3. Tier 6, my lightning shooter is enchant 3, tier 6 plus 2, and then I'm using the Majesty because it's my current best armor. But once I get the Holy Saber to enchant 3, I'll switch. Then I have Arcane, of course, and then a Terra Pendant, which adds rage gain. You see that? So it helps me use my companions faster. And And then this black horn pendant right underneath Terra pendant is going to be even better because it has all attack boost, right? Not just bleed damage boost. So that's going to accent every single weapon I ever use, whereas the Terra pendant will only accent the most the bleed weapons. And as you upgrade your Nova Stones, you'll have more rage gain as well. So hopefully the black horn pendant will outweigh in the long run the Terra pendant. Then I got my Immortal set and then Lady Grey. Okay. Alright, so this is how you use the Skylark. And I got this really cool weapon skin. Because I don't want people to see, for example, how developed my Lady Grey is. I want it to be hidden, so you know they might want to go for Lady Grey first, thinking she might be weaker when she, and in fact, is possibly stronger. Now, I think they're both on the same companion.
무슨 일인가요?
So Arthur, he is promoted to Master 3. And
제 근처에 서 있으면 좋을 텐데.
okay. Yeah. These two are going to be able to be promoted super fast compared to any other companions. And that's the whole point here, is why we're using a Skylark and these two companions, because they work great together, and you'll see how. Alright, so also, if we're going to work on a pet, we might as well work on collections, which then we would turn on our hot time, you know, the far right one, the free one, and then we would use an item to stack. Okay, I'm not going to do that now because I'm making this video, so I'm a little bit slower. But for me, at work, I would just set my phone and then I would choose probably this one, and I would just clear these stages and let it play on easy play like I told you last night with the stacked hot time and my pet. And that's how I would level them up. Get them all to level 10, then get them all to level 20, then get them all to level 30, and then 40, and so on. But right now, I'm going to show you some annoying things. Alright, so we have my pet. Let's go to collection. Alright, so I want to show you this monster just because he's there twice and he's still annoying, but just because they hit you or stun you doesn't mean it's a bad thing. So, we have this Snow Peak Yeti. That's who we're going to fight. I'm going to use him as an example to show you how to use the Skylark. Alright, so let's clear hell. Alright. So, again, here we go. Alright. So, I'll do this twice just to show you and explain it as I do it. Skylark, you can hold that. So, you notice, as soon as I started, I have easy play on, which is, I almost always have easy play on now. And then I only turn it off at certain times during Arena and Guild War. And the reason is because if someone else has a Lady Grey and I haven't killed her yet, I know they're about to use Lady Grey's special. And if easy play is on, while I'm using my companion specials, my character is going to be running towards Lady Grey because that's who's going to be targeted, so I can kill her first. But if I turn easy play off, I'm just going to stand in one spot as my companions are doing their special, and it shifts your screen to focus on them. So that when the opponent uses their Lady Grey, I'm not in her cyclone, and I'm not pulled towards her because I'm not near her. So I wait until the cyclone's done, then I turn easy play right back on and then go towards her. Anyway, with the Skylark, very similar to the Duelist, you can get really close to the companion or the enemy super fast. Okay, so I'll do it again. Okay, raise your hand. There he is, way down there. So I'm gonna hold it. Okay, shoot him first. Alright, so this is how you want to do it with the Yeti. build that electricity.
태어나라. 얼음에서 얼음인형으로 만들어주지.
Then use your companions.
아!
징후를 느껴봐라.
As soon as the electricity starts, then I can get him in the area.
태어나라. 얼음의 꽃. 자. 얼음인형으로 만들어주지.
Even if you're across the map,
하얗게 덮어버리겠다.
normally you want to break into your super armor as much as possible. But really, your first job is to get 2 stacks of electricity into getting
치르게 해주지.
So 1 minute. That was slower than normal. I still got the ice. Okay, so that's my move.
부정한 존재와
And
싸울
you can
다시
rewind this
불러주게.
video to go see those if you need to. Just the order that I press them, for example. Let me turn something off real quick. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to do it again, but this time I want you to pay attention to how Arcane and Lady Grey's specials work together. And I'm going to comment on those a little bit. Hold it, target, break his super armor. Ah, man, that's not what you want to do on this boss. You want to wait to use your companions first. Okay. Do that. Now he's gonna run. He's gonna freeze me. All right, now he does that and then he falls down. Then I use your companions, my companions. Then I get out of the frozen, I kick him. Now I'm watching my electricity. There, now I have 2 stacks so I can use the finisher. And his armor's been broken, that's why he's taking on more damage. Then I'm gonna wait, shoot him again, throw that weakening thing at him, kick him, get that electricity back up, finish again, and he's dead. Okay, so that's the order. Your goal for pretty much any armor set is you want to break them. If you have a break weapon, you want to break their super armor because they take on more damage. But with the Skylark specifically, you want to get your electricity stack twice as fast as possible. Okay? Freeze me, guy. Freeze me. Alright. Oh, he froze Arcane too. Lady Grey. Arcane. Alright, now I'm watching the shock debuff. It's 2, so I can do that. Alright, I'm gonna break super armor again, finish. Again, I haven't commented on Lady Grey and Arcane yet, so that's stupid of me. Let me do that. He's gonna die, so I'm gonna have to do this again. Let's just restart it, it'll be faster. Dang it. There. Alright, now I wanna show you something. Okay. That last shot of the gun is really important to break their armor. Alright, so now I'm using Arcane, and it's a downward electricity bolt. Now I'm using her, and they work together. You see how her cyclone and the electricity goes down the middle of it? But here's the cool thing about Arcane's shock, right? So if I have him in the air, no matter how high I am, the shock follows you, and follows him, really. As soon as he throws it, like if he's way up in the air, it'll stay up in the air, and then it will come all the way down, and it will just be like a tall lightning bolt that just continues to shock. Whereas Lady Grey's starts from the bottom and goes only up so high. So with the Skylark, at times you will be really high in the air, and Arcane's shock will follow the enemy. So that's good because it'll build up the 2 stacks of electricity in order for you to do your finisher or that that move that I was gripping onto them and doing a backflip and it would blow up on them. So that's how you use the Skylark, and it's pretty fun. Again, if you were to look at your team settings, I have 43.2% crit rate and 171 crit damage, just based on not only, being higher level, a little bit higher level, but having my gear upgraded, but just this set. This set has more crit rate than the bleed set, I think. So let's compare. 43 crit rate, okay. Yeah, 30% crit rate, 178 crit damage. So various companions give better crit rate. Also, I had that companion on. So let's see how my crit rate is now. So with the Devil Chimera, I have a 35% crit rate, and then crit damage is 166. So, but my team power is a lot higher, of course, with this pet. All right, so that's the Skylark. So for you have, also one other thing about the Skylark, why did I get this weapon skin? Not only does it look cool, really cool, especially with this outfit, this skin, but as you upgrade every weapon to tier 6, it transforms. So yours doesn't look like this yet. But once you upgrade to tier 6, it'll have these sharper edges. Okay? So if you're looking at someone in arena, for example, and they're using a Skylark and they have this one, not the thinner one, then you're going to be like, okay, so they have a upgraded tier 6 Skylark. And it's the same with other weapons, just like it is for companions. If they look a little bit different but the same skin, then obviously they're upgraded. So Lady Grey is easy to point out because she has a big blue crystal. So based on her crystal, you can kind of tell where she is in the progression. Same for your main weapon. All right. Let's see. Fire Duelist. Can't remember. Do I have a Fire Death Scythe? No. Okay, so that's your Skylark, right? And I'm going to put this back. Okay. I'm going to show you on Hiyoshi. So, because my Hiyoshi Fire Death Scythe is very similar to yours, except I have it enchanted 3 times. I just got that yesterday. But team power wise, I'm closer to you. So, okay, Russo. Okay, again with Hiyoshi, I have the same set as my primary, but there's a difference. If you look at Arcane, his staff is different. That's because he hasn't been promoted yet. Your companions start to look different as you promote them, not after you get their secret skills open. So with my companions here, Arcane, I gotta get 3 more, and then I'll have his 4th secret skill, and then I can promote him. So right now he's Veteran 1, and then Lady Grey is Master 1. I think I've already done that. Oops. Yeah, so I gotta wait till tomorrow to promote him, because I've already done those. So if I were you, I would go into this guild shop and buy as many as Arcane right now and start building him up as super quick as you can for this set. So we've already shown you the Skylark, and again I have a new skin and got the same weapon skin. Also, in the future, the Flame Duelist is going to be helpful with Slain as well. Let's see, do I have it? No, I don't have it. But the Flame Duelist... Hang on. Let's go back to my Flame... Fire set. Okay. Yeah, I do have it. Oh, but I didn't do the weapon skin. Anyway, I was just gonna say that the Duelist, they have a very similar weapon skin to this, except the crystals in the dragon's mouth are like black or something. So if you like that, you can do that on your Duelist to kind of hide your Duelist from people's eyes to see like how upgraded it is. Death Scythe. Okay. So my team power is kind of low, of course, 10,177, and I have a blue Nikki. I'm slowly working on her illusion halls, just 3x3. I'm not purchasing them at this point because I want to buy Slain and probably Lady Terra, just because she's awesome. So this is, if you look at it's Fire, Death Scythe, Lady Terra, or Nikki temporarily in parentheses, and Slain. So Slain will go over there, of course. But this is what we got for now, 10,177. And let's see if we can beat... Oh, that's right. Okay. Let's see if we can beat... Conquest. Wait a second. Flame Mummy's on the 8th one. Yeah. Alright, so in this video, or at this point, I'm going to show you how to use the Death Scythe, and I just got X/, so I'll be doing that. You'll see it. Okay, so on normal, so you should be able to beat him for sure with the Skylark, but I'm going to try it on this Death Scythe real quick to see how it goes, because he's fire, so it might not be as effective because it's a fire Death Scythe and I'm using fire weapons. We'll see. And I'm using Karen, and Karen kind of sucks. Okay, so I have a shield. Now look at Nikki, she has 1 and 2 dots coming up. So you want to do that, then... Alright, you got head hunting. I wanted to tell you something, actually. Yeah, this is going really slow. Long time ago, when I was still working on your account, you had said something that actually kind of struck me as something to think about. And it was when I made that video for you with, with Scorpion King. So, when I killed Scorpion King with the Nightfall, you said that you learned a lot about kind of elements or how weapons work. And I brought it up to Devastating, and I was like, hey, you know how with the Scorpion King, you have to get at least 1 stack of electricity on him before you can use the stun. Oops. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, I mean, are all bosses like that? Or, you know what? See how he's pinned down? And he was saying, well, not really. All bosses have different mechanics. And so it might just be that boss specifically that has the mechanics of that you have to use the 1 stack of electricity, get that before you can do the stun. So in a sense, the electricity, the one stack of electricity, is the precursor to get an easy stun, right? Because once the stack is there, you can stun him much faster. Like one, so if you're using a Nightfall, if he's got one stack of electricity, you can use that special move of your Nightfall that does a stun on him. And that plus maybe one other companion, so 2 stuns, will get him fully debuffed in that stun. Instead of using 3 companions and like a sub weapon, so 4 stuns to get a full stun, right? And so Devastating was like, no, I think that's just specific bosses. But the more I thought about it and looked at it, I think I've discovered what it truly actually is. And what it is based on not the bosses. The bosses do have their own companions or their own mechanics and weaknesses, but what it's based on is the weapons itself. So this Demi Rune at the top, it's got a stun, a fire, an air, and a down. That might not be a good example. So let's take this Nightfall. It's got a down and a stun. So if I were to pin this Nightfall with Nikki, who's a down companion, and Lady Grey, who has a down, but she has air and freeze and slow, right? So let's say I ran up to a boss and just started basic attacking it. And then I use Nikki, and then I use Lady Grey. And then that puts a full stack of down on that boss. And then I use the move of my Nightfall that adds a stun. But because he's got a full debuff of down, that one move will bring almost a full stun to the boss. And then if instead of Nikki, I'll just show you. So if I used Lady Grey and Arcane. So Lady Grey obviously has a down. See, down there. So she's got air, slow, frozen, and down. But then if I used Arcane, he's got a down as you use his special, the Thunderbolt. But he also has Holy Explosion. So if that was open and I'm using Nightfall, I'm going up there. So let's say I throw the shock at him and then I hit Lady Grey special and she does her down and she's doing her Cyclone, and now the boss has a full down. Then all I have to do is wait for Arcane to use Holy Explosion, and that'll put on a good bit of stun because he's already downed, and then I use my Nightfall weapon to add more stun, and then that stun circle of debuff will be complete. So these weapons, their elements affect the other elements. And when they have multiple elements, if you get one element on there faster, or 1 stack or 2 stacks, kind of like the Skylark, it'll provide an easier way for the other element to be on there. So that's really insightful as you think about what works. So even with this set, right? Fire, break, and down from my Death Scythe. The fire, the more fire I have on the enemy, the easier down is going to be put onto the enemy. So that's why Slain is going to work perfect, because he's got a fire and down. And if I'm using down a lot, the person is just going to be stuck on the ground. Anyway, so you saw me kill the flame mummy, but I'm going to do it again and explain actually how to use the Death Scythe so I can end this video. Anyway, here it is. I guess flame mummies will work. Okay. So, your goal with the Death Scythe is to get as much down as possible so that you can pin them to the ground and to break them. Once you break their super armor, Wow. So you see that? Did you see that? So this particular boss, he sets himself on fire on purpose. And once he set himself on fire, it was a full stack of fire, and it instantly gave my attack, it procced my attack. Let me show you again. Headhunting, my finisher, and it's a fire death scythe. So as soon as I get one stack on the enemy, it'll proc a skill. Watch. He sets himself on fire, I get close enough, bam. So now I can do that. So that's cool. Anyway, here's the down. There's Nikki. She does that much down. Now if you dodge, it activates the, what's that skill called? It activates this. That. Where you, it's ankle cutter or something like that. Okay, so let's break his armor with this, weaken him, whatever. Break his armor with this. All right. And you can go in here, go into the collections and practice these weapons, of course. See that weapon or the skill that activates when I dodge on the bottom there? It's like an upside down. All right, there it is, see? And that's what it looks like. Now, headhunting grabs them. Oh, okay. I'm being held right now. Okay. Headhunting. It grabs him and throws him in the air. Okay. Just keep adding that down because you want to get the down stacked. All right. One more down and then he'll be on the floor. See the debuff? All right. Now he's on the floor. Now you can use X slash and headhunting picks him up, throws him. Now this is the break. This adds more flame. That adds more flame, and here's your down. All right, so that's just by tapping this skill over there 3 or 4 times. So you can see how much CC it has because it's constantly pinning the person on the ground, where you can use your sub-weapon to break them or weaken them, but break is more effective. You're constantly downing them with that dodge skill, then you're X slashing once you get to enchant 3, but then also headhunting once flame is stacked once, headhunting is procced. So that's pretty much it, and that's why everyone kind of runs in fear when there's a death scythe, because it's like, oh no, I'm about to get eaten alive. Let's see. Is there anything else I can show you? It'll probably be more helpful just to go into the skills and show you real quick, and then I'll be done. Team settings. Okay. Skills. So, when triggered, enables a 3-step chain skill linked with the basic attack, right? So you press that once, and it'll slam your character's foot on the ground, and it will make a huge flame shock that circles outward from your character, and that is the break. But you have to be somewhat close. Then you tap it again, and then it will slash twice the enemy up in the air. Then you tap it again, and then it'll propel your character forward, and it'll twist the death scythe really fast, and then it'll add like little tiny attacks onto the enemy, giving more fire. And then you press it again, and your character will jump up into the air and slash downward with the death scythe, causing the down. So you have one down right there, and then you'll still have maybe like one more tap before the circle is completely used up of killing scheme. So you'll be able to slash twice again up in the air with the last bit of killing scheme. So that's one down and a break. So he's broken. I've tried to make it a habit of using a break gun or break sub weapon first, then use, another move. So if you were to do that, your burst fire gun, you could break them with that far away before you get close. Hit your, dash in and start doing a down, right? Harvest Ankle, that's what it's called. Activates the use of dodge. Swings the scythe low to slash the enemy's ankles, increases the knockdown. And then Killing Scheme, of course, we just went over that, and head hunting. A lot of times, certain moves within that sequence I was telling you about, they decrease certain debuffs. So you have to keep building it, and that'll keep lighting up these special attacks. Like this one, Headhunting, it's a finisher, but it decreases the burn stat count of enemies hit by 1. So also, if you look at the bottom left, there's a green numbers. So this is your biggest damage dealer, I think, 297% plus 210 damage. Then Harvest Ankles, 172 plus 127 damage. Yes, finisher, 895% plus 579 damage. And I've barely got any skill points in these. But then X Slash is 1,226% plus 321. So you essentially have 2 finishers, and with X Slash it actually adds more fire. So it's actually better, it's more effective to use X Slash once you've gotten your Death Scythe enchanted to 3, to use X Slash first and then Headhunting, because it'll add the flame and then Headhunting subtracts the flame. And so that's how you use Death Scythe. It's mainly bolstered on down, but with the fire it's going to accent Slain really well. That's how you beat him. You just pretty much keep going, pinning him to the ground. Let me show you one last thing, okay? So how to kill the flame mummy with your new shock/air set. So Arcane has air, she has air, and there's air on the Skylark. So this is technically an air set. Okay, flame mummy. Not that. 8. Conquest. Okay. I'm gonna do up the, oh, I can't. Man. It's because I haven't, no, it's fine. So, got to get those 2 stacks of electricity. There he is. Hold towards him. Target. Okay. Break his armor. Weaken him. Use those. Okay, I'm looking for the electricity debuff. Waiting for it to be stacked twice. There's a kick. Alright, there's a weaken. Break his armor again. There's a kick. Almost stacked twice. Here it is. Okay, finish. Now he's going to be propelled in the air a little bit. Okay, maybe not. He's too heavy. Oh, he got frozen. That's what it was. Okay, break his armor again. And he's dead. Pretty much. There. 49 seconds. I mean, yeah, I'm a little bit higher team power than you, but Lady Grey often will freeze him, and then the shock is going to continuously interrupt his attacks. So yeah, there you go. Don't forget to try it on your computer. All right, see you, man.